Hi there, guys. Uh, I, I know that some of you know, some of you don't. Uh, I broke a vertebrae in my back in May, and I've had to adjust my ironing. My sewing table is way too low to do anything. It hurts my back. So I've come into the kitchen, and I've improvised. And I, on my island, am doing my pressing and some cutting. And the rest of the cutting I'm doing on the other counter. It's a little lower, but yet much, much higher than my sewing table. My sewing table is just one of those 6-foot tables from Sam's Club. And it's just way too low. So I thought you might like to see I need to recover my makeshift ironing board or ironing mechanism that I have. I don't have a regular ironing board. I sold it in our garage sale, estate sale, when we moved over to here, to Amarillo. So let me put the camera down and show you what I use. You know, for quilting, it works. It's only 20 by 20. It's a 20-inch square. My husband helped me make this, and he probably put 100 staples in it, which I don't even know if I can use the staple gun. It's loaded. My landlord came by a while ago and to do something else, and I had him put the staples in it, but I don't know if I can operate it. But I can show you how to get it going anyway. I'm gonna put the camera down. This works so good if you have a small space in your home and you need to raise your ironing level up. This works like a charm. Now this is heavy. It is a 5/8 inch piece of plywood that my husband got at the hardware store. And it's heavy. I don't know how plywood comes. You can get lighter weight. I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but it's 5/8. And I think that's good to do 5/8 because you don't want to hurt your surface at all. So you need all that protection underneath you. Now look at this thing. It's had its use, hasn't it? It's been around the block, and my steam iron, when it wasn't working, just spit and spewed and you know, made a horrible mess. And if I put a white on here and press on this, I will mess up that white. So it's a necessity this gets recovered. I suggest you don't use dark colors. They might bleed when you use your steam iron, or even spray when you spray your spray starch. Now, I could have left the batting on, but it's stained and soiled too. So it's time it went to. I mean, really, basically, I have 2 layers. I don't think you should put any more, and I really considered the Insel Bright to put it down, and then I thought, well, why? The heat's not going through this 5/8 plywood, that's for sure. And you don't want too much cushion, or your pressing and ironing will not look good. You want a hard surface underneath it. You know, an ironing board is a hard surface with just a little bit of padding. So I think 2 layers is all the batting that you need, and I talked myself out of the Insole Bright. So all of this can go to the trash. Now we have a clean slate, and I'm going to have to go get my supplies because I wasn't real organized when I started this. So let me turn this off for just a second and go get everything that I need. Okay, I have it's either an 80-20 or 100% cotton. I don't think you should use any of that high loft or anything like that, bamboo, anything else for this project. This is it. And pick out the ugliest fabric you got just to get rid of it. This isn't the ugliest fabric I have, but I don't think I'll ever use it for anything. It's leaves. So I'm glad to get rid of a big piece of it. I'm not pressing it because it'll get pressed over and over and over. And just evenly go around your edges. My fabric is a little bit bigger than my batting. So just go around evenly, you know, approximately. And we might do, after we have stapled, we might trim. We'll see. And I might not get this the tightest in the world. Like I say, my husband helped me, and he's no longer with us. So we will just get done what we need to get done. Now, taking all of those staples out was a chore on that old thing. Nasty old thing. And like I said, my husband did it, and he must have had 50 staples around here. He really got with the program, but we'll just see how it goes. But I want to tell you this little story, if you don't mind. This is called a tack hammer, and it got up that's the best screwdriver in the world, and it got up those staples. I didn't really have, I had to pry, but I got them up pretty good. You know, as we get older, our hands especially get very weak. And that's just facts of life. Well, every time I get out this little tack hammer, I think of what happened to me when I was 7 years old. When I was a detective, I was playing detective. And my dad had a whole shoebox full of German World War II mementos, little things, and there were bullets in that box. And so I got one of those German Luger bullets, and they're about that big. And I was going to test it to see if it was the bullet that killed the victim. So I was holding it, and this whole thing is heavy, very, very sturdy. Like I say, I've known of it for 73 years. I don't know how long Mother and Daddy had it before I came along. So anyway, I'm holding this bullet, and I go 1, 2, 3, and it exploded. And the shrapnel, the outside of the bullet, put a hole in my stomach about this big, and the core of the bullet went in the floor, in the linoleum, about 4 feet, just buried in that linoleum. And, of course, it blew all the skin off of my hands and blinded me for a couple of hours. It was a pretty traumatic experience. But I did, of course, get my eyesight back. The light was so white, I cannot describe it to you. You've never seen a white light like that. So anyway, we lived about 15 miles from the nearest hospital, and when I got there, the doctor told my mom and dad that if the core of the bullet had gone in me, I probably wouldn't be here. But as you can see, I'm here. So I made it, and I survived, and I had surgery, and here I am today. But I never use this, that I don't think of my story of being a detective. So I just had to share that with y'all. All right, I have kind of placed this around, you know. Now, see, the fabric that I chose, if you want to wash it real good before, now I haven't this because I think it's not gonna bleed, it's not gonna do anything. But don't put anything that's red or subject to bleeding, because like I say, your starch or your steam, Lord, if you ruined your fabric that you're ironing, that would be so sad. So wash your fabric 2 or 3 times and get a lightish color. I know what I had before wasn't light, and it worked like a charm. I mean, I've had that cover on probably, oh, let's see. My husband made that for me probably in 2000. 20? No. We moved over here in 2017, so let's just say 2015. So it's been on there at least 10 years. All right, you want your batting to at least go over your edges. And the reason being is for cushioning for you in case you butt it up against yourself. So it's covered, all of it is covered. It's not a whole lot, but it's all covered. And I would just start pulling it up as tight as you can, and then stapling into the batting and the fabric. Now let's see if I can even do this gun. I really don't know. Do I have the strength? I thought maybe he locked it. My landlord. He did. You see how powerful that is? You be very, very careful. All right, that I would go all the way around. Now on your corners, you can cut your corners across this way. Let's get the scissors. See if I can cut a decent corner. Cut that corner and then just fold it in. And you don't want a big wad, you know, sticking out. So it doesn't matter what it looks like on the back. Don't worry about that. See, I've got quite a bit pulled over. But when you trim this close around to the edge, then you can trim all this fabric. And this is too bulky right here. So I'm gonna tuck that in. And how about that? That's a little bit neater, isn't it? Can you see that? Still too bulky right there. That's a scary thought, how that could hurt you. Alrighty, you just keep going, and we'll just fold that, like you're wrapping a Christmas present. Now we don't have, see that? Now we don't have all of that bulk. I'll just kind of cave that in and pull that up. And that looks a little bit better. There's just some bulk you're gonna have. I mean, there's just no way to get across it. And I don't know, you know, how to avoid that. So that's the way it's gonna have to be. Now, just, you know, just fold and tuck it in and try to get it as, you know, as smooth as possible. It's no big deal if it's not perfect. Thought I'd kind of miter my corner there. It's what I'm trying to do. And do not get your hands in the way. You stay as far away from those staples as you can. That's pretty good. See that? Can you see my corner? That's pretty good. And I'm just gonna keep going and go all the way around. Like I say, I'm kind of mitering these corners just for the sake of bulk. And I will put probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side. And then if I decide that I'm gonna trim this fabric, I can, or I can do one staple up here. It's not going anywhere. It is just not going anywhere. And you just keep proceeding. And I'm telling you what, guys, you will love using your new ironing board. Look at that. Oh, I'm proud of it compared to what I had before. Very, very nice.